Hi guys, so I wasn't really planning to do a reading right now, and I just happened to go on Twitter a few hours ago, and I saw that, of course, Freakface, uh, Cheeto, Trump, whatever, he's having like a massive, like crazy meltdown, probably like the biggest ever. And it's about, of course, it happened right after the meeting with Putin, right? He had said that, or the White House said that there would be no meeting, or that they were not going to have an official meeting. Um, we know there was a photo circulating of them wearing some outfit or something. But anyway, so today he has insulted the intelligence services. He said that he believes the CIA and the FBI are political hacks, quote unquote, and that he trusts Putin over them. And then he said he just had all these like just meltdowns with all these stupid, really offensive things. And then he kept, well, his tweets, one was him saying to the North Korean president, dictator or whatever, he's saying, "Oh, I try to be his friend. I don't understand why he called me old. I never called him short and fat." I mean, this is the president, okay? So I'm just thinking, this something, obviously, he always has something wrong. He's crazy, but there's something more going on. And I really wanted to do a reading on their meeting, but I thought, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. It's okay, it's fine. The meeting happened, or he's coming back. And then this. And it made me think, and I just felt this urgency because I don't know if you feel this, but I feel that you read these things and it's like something starts to build up. I don't know. It is a form of stress, but it's this sort of like, okay, what's going on? Oh my God, what's next? What? And it's really unpleasant, even though it's like a joke, right? The whole thing is such a joke. But you feel like, come on, no, there has to be a limit to all of this, okay? So what I did and what I had planned to do tomorrow, and I've just done, is a reading on what happened at their meeting, because they clearly talked, regardless of whether it was an official meeting or not. They had some conversation because he's saying that they talked about Syria, they talked about such and such, and then he wrote a tweet that said, what did he say? Something like haters, or something like haters have to understand that that it's a good thing to have a relationship with Russia. It will be good or something, which is obviously, I got the feeling that he's being pressured by Putin into getting more. He's not delivering, so there's a lot of pressure put on him, as I have seen before in previous readings that I've done here. So basically, I'm feeling this pressure cooker kind of inside of him, and I wanted to know what happened and what did they decide. So I'm gonna tell you about the structure of this reading. So I split the reading into 7 sections. And so basically it's about when they start the meeting. What does Putin say? Because obviously we know that he's the one in charge here, right? So what did he ask for? And then 1. Number 2, how did Trump respond? Number 3, how did Putin end the meeting? And number 4, how did Trump end the meeting? Okay, so this is, they say goodbye. And then after is, what does Putin do? It's number 5. Number 6 is, what does Trump do? And number 7 is, what is this consequence to the American public? Okay, so that's that. I just wanted to get a sense of what is going on, but I felt like I needed to have these questions. So it's going to be a fairly long reading, I assume. And I don't like editing videos because it takes too long. I'm just going to post it. And what I'll try to do as soon as I post it is to split the video. You can see those little time little signs if you scroll down the video. I'm going to do that so that you don't have to, you can skip basically if you just want to go to a specific section. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to get started. All right, okay. So it starts, it's just a sea of cards here. So it starts with the Ace of Swords and the Tower. Okay, so this is the section, four sets of 2 cards, so it's 4 positions. So this is, I'll show you quickly. Again, this is what Putin is saying to him first. So this is the card of the government and a clean clarity, decision, new direction. So I did some research just now just to see what are the possibilities for the Ace of Swords if it matched something related to the government. And what it said, one of the meanings that I think connects to this well is a new change of direction in your work, what you're doing. So what I'm feeling is he's saying, we need to change the direction in the government to what I want. And then he said, basically, it's a card of making plans. So see, the person is holding the world. So it's the plans they made, and you carry the cross. So in a way, what he's saying is that you're tasked with making these changes in the government because it's his burden, right? So in a way, you're tasked to follow through with the plans, right, we made for the new change in government. So this is the first row. Okay, section 1. And then the second row is, okay, all right, this is Tower upside down, the dog. So I've discussed this before. It's actually come up in similar context. That is, he's saying we made the decision to turn things upside down, right? You're creating a kind of artificial chaos, and the dog is the loyalist. So you're loyal to our plan to turn things upside down. And here you have the Judgment, which in a way is a decision, right? So if in their own mythology, Putin is the master or whatever king, whatever a decision means his decision, right? So we've decided to. Someone else said, "Oh, this could be Russia." Yes, it could be the boss, but it could be Russia definitely. So it's saying here, I'm the bear and you're the dog. So I'm the boss, right? Because this is really the card of the boss. We've decided that I'm the boss and that you are loyal to me by turning things upside down artificially, okay? And then just to give you the confirmation here also of the row, how it works as a row of meaning. So it's the government direction, the loyalist, oh my God. This is so crazy, gives me the creeps that this is what's saying. Because it's saying the loyalist, this is turning things around artificially. So the new direction is to turn the government upside down artificially. And here, to have the duty, right, to carry the burden of the decision that the boss made, which is his. So the burden is what the boss ordered to him, right? He has the job of following through the plans. So that's what Putin says to him first, okay? And then, okay, so this is, I'm just going to go through this quickly. I'm going to try to do as quickly as I possibly can because I know it's a lot of information, okay? So here, okay. So this is a Knight of Cups upside down, which means a person who is emotionally unbalanced is having a tantrum, aka meltdown. So he's having a tantrum about their deal, okay? And he's saying, this is the world upside down, which is literally what I think we're experiencing that in a way, right? So it's like, yes, you gave me something. So what is, it's the gift, right? So it's possible that he's saying to him, yes, I got the gift. This was the deal. So he gets the gift or the money. And in turn, he gives the deal. But it's important, the card that I think it's important to see here is the meltdown. He's having a meltdown because of this. And he's saying, yes, I give you, this is even more disturbing. I'll give you the world upside down as a gift, right? So yes, I give you the deal, the world upside down. He's saying, but he's having a meltdown as he's doing that. And then the lovers upside down, which means, in a way, their relationship goes sour. You see, because if we imagine that if Russia were a friendly nation, we would be like this. But if it's turned around, whatever it has gone sour. And again, the lady card. So it's saying that the relationship with Russia has gone down. Okay, and this is interesting because it appears together. So what I'm getting here is that in this case, the ship is not about Russia or the US. It's about foreign countries. And this is about conflict. So in a weird way, he's saying, yes, I'll cause conflict with foreign countries. Okay, this is, or it could also mean just explain that the situation with Russia has gone sour and there's conflict with other foreign nations. Okay. And that the gift that he's willing to give in some ways is also the gift of disagreement with foreign nations. Okay. And again, on top, I don't believe I showed this together, but the deal is, what is the deal related to? Is related to Russia. But he's having a meltdown and the relationship has gone sour. Okay. So that's his position. So he's stating, this is what I can do for you. I can turn the world upside down and create more conflict in the world. Okay. At large. Again, guys, I say this because I really want to know. And I have this sense of urgency, but I know that I don't want people to feel, it's strange, right? I have this weird, I don't want to say compulsion, but I feel like I need to know. And so I'm just sharing what I'm seeing. And in the end, it's actually very positive, but it's crazy because I feel like it's telling me what I'm seeing already. It's not like this is any, I don't feel this is not weird from what we are experiencing. It's just the madness of the reality that we're living. Okay, so I'm moving on to section 3, which is the section where Putin responds to Trump and how their meeting ends. Okay, so and it's crazy because it seems so accurate. So, okay, this is disappointment and the house. He says, I'm disappointed at the White House. I have a trickster, a con artist, who I gave a lot of money to. Okay, so this is I don't think I need to get into the cards. I've already talked about this before. Disappointment, house for the White House. Magician means trickster, and then fish means large quantities of money. So Putin is saying to him, well, I'm disappointed at the White House and at the trickster who I've invested a lot of money on. Okay, and this is, oh my God, this is crazy, but that's what it's saying, okay? He's saying, this is a card of standstill and reputation. So he's saying your reputation, oh my God, this is so creepy, it's so crazy, but it rings very true. So he's saying, so what is the hangman really? Is a person who's hanging by a thread, and if everybody says that Trump is a, what is it called? Puppet. So if he's a puppet, then it's Putin who holds the strings, and his strings are tied, okay? And he's saying your reputation is in my hands, literally, okay? And this is crazy. This is a card of swift news, fast news, quick arrivals, things flowing quickly, okay? And what do we have? We have the secret. So he's saying your reputation is in my hands. I can release this secret very quickly. Okay, and that's how he ends the meeting with Trump. And Trump says to him, I'm a strong man, but I have a lot of opposition. Okay, this is... And this shows, this is a card of a person having a hard time making a decision, really. It's a card about, it's a lack of focus. So it's having a hard time making a decision. And here is the older man. So it's like, it's saying the old man has a lot of opposition and has a hard time making a decision. And Okay, and next to it, it's saying that he's very apathetic. It's not disappointed, but he's just not happy. Okay, he's like kind of like that, like a sad puppy face. Okay, and he's disappointed. Okay, and this is a, and there's like a, he's probably saying like, we could do more deals behind the scenes or whatever, and this is something that Trump never was and never has been, never will be. It's the balanced emotional man. It's like a child, right? So he's a child. So he's saying, I will, he's doing his best impression to sound like a balanced person, okay? But he's showing here that it's hard to get away with doing things behind the scenes. I'm disappointed. I'm strong, but I'm disappointed because it's difficult. I have a lot of difficulties with that. And even it's weird here, the connection between the old man and the child. You see here, the old man and the child. So on the one hand, he's saying it's going to be hard to do the shady deals. I can try to be a good boy. This is what I feel like. It's so weird. Like I could be a good boy. I'm going to try to do a good job. Okay. That's what it's showing, because it's, again, he said this is a good man, right? A good man with a good heart. He said, I'm going to be balanced and I'm going to do a good job as a child, right? He's here, the child. But yeah, it's almost like he detaches himself from what he is on a day-to-day basis and reverts to being a child, so acting like a child or something like that. So anyway, that's the excuse. He's saying I'm having a hard time getting away with this. There's a lot of obstacles. Okay. Now, I'm moving on to the section that discusses what happens after the meeting, which I think is what we're seeing now, okay? And this is crazy, okay? And again, guys, I don't know that. I just want to know I just feel like I'm creating these stories and I want to know what's going on because I feel like there's so much missing. We don't really get the full story, okay? So it's saying, so the next section is what will Putin do? What will he do? Okay. All right. So this is a man. And what I feel like he's doing here is he's telling the story to the public. I'll tell you, it will explain itself later. But this is a man who created an unlawful defeat. Man here, in the middle of the night, he got an opportunity, like on the down low, okay? And so I feel like the next section is happy. Okay, this is, I have to show you this card because it's important, the image. You see, this is a card of happy family, okay? But this is also a card of people happy. See people dancing on the street. That's what I noticed about it. I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting, okay? Because this could mean, okay, this is a man who created an unlawful defeat so he could enjoy a kind of like a promotion for his family in a way, okay? And then he had an opportunity, not secret, in the middle of the night, kind of on the down low. And there was a lot, I feel like this is very clear to me, the opportunity and the person, the man who got the sort of unlawful defeat. Okay, now this is interesting because when I first looked at it, and I remember even talking about this here, that you should trust whatever you see. And I feel like am I not doing that? You know, I should talk about it more. Okay, because this is when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, people are happy. Americans are going to be happy. Well, maybe I'm projecting, okay? This is a positive change. This is something about money and fights about money, okay? It could be that he's saying this man had to fight to get his money or something about the deal. Like, okay, there's some infighting about getting the money. So maybe he wasn't giving him the money. But when I first saw it, I thought to myself, that's the story that he's telling the public. Because remember how when the meeting ended, he said, I hold your strings and I can very quickly share your secret with the world. Okay. All right. So this is what happens next. And what happens next, the question really was, what will he do when he comes back to America? But what I'm getting here is that he's not doing anything. It's already been done. Okay. And I'll show you why. This is crazy. Okay. This is the high priestess. And this was reversed. So I'll tell you, okay, I'm not saying this is just so weird, but I'll have to say it. So the third reading I did when I started doing these readings online was about the Alabama election and Roy Moore. This was more than, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And this card came up for Roy Moore. And this card is a card of dark secrets. Okay, so it's showing up again here. I'm not saying that every card has multiple meanings and it could be many things, but you have to just look at the overall context. And because if I'm tracking a story, and in this case Putin had threatened that he was going to quickly release the secret, I feel like this is the moment where it happens. Okay, so what the story is telling me is that Putin threatened at the meeting, Putin threatened to release the secret unless he changed the direction of the government. Okay, everybody, well, a lot of people are saying, well, it's the Magnitsky Act. But it's not just that. It's that he wants the American government to follow the new direction. He said the new world order and so forth. It's not just one thing. It will continue. So Trump wasn't able to do that. So what happens? Dark secret comes out. And what do we get? Scythe. So what I'm getting here is that Putin is going to follow through with his threats and he's going to release the information. Okay, so I'll tell you why. Okay, and again, and I feel like I'm telling everybody, okay, this is not, don't take it super, super seriously because it's just a way to, I just want to know why is he acting like this. Okay, but this is, so I did the whole reading to understand the story better. Okay. So this is where you are. But again, I don't want everybody to be like, oh, the secret's going to come out and blah, blah, blah. So I'm just pushing it as far as I can. In a way, this is almost experimental because it's live. All these things are happening and we're all experiencing it together. We don't know, but that's what I'm seeing. Okay, all right. So dark secret comes out. There's a cut. And I think it's him. And here's the money, the deal. Okay, this is another card that signifies deal, which I said before, the quid pro quo card and the cloud. And what does it mean? And I feel like if you look at the cloud traditionally just means problems in the Lenormand, okay? But it also obviously obscures something. So the deal, right, the quid pro quo was obscured. It's showing me that it was obscured. And then here we have the King of Wands, which could be him. He's never really upside down, but upright. But in this context, I feel like it's showing from a distance. A man who would probably, if you think of a king, this would probably be a court card that best fits the king because it's charisma and power in a natural sense. All the other kings are more about money or there are different qualities. I would think this is more naturally the king. And this is a card of theft, corruption, and crime. Okay, so, and then I'll show you this. Okay, put these together so we can look at it. There's several elements of this narrative. So we're seeing here, okay, I've already talked about this. Dark secret comes out. And I think what also comes out is this quid pro quo that was hidden. Okay, so there's a reason why this is not just a problem. It's that it's showing that this thing was obscured and it comes out along because it's a secret, right? So the secret comes out and it's related to this quid pro quo and it shows the king corrupt, committing crimes of some sort. And this is the public, meaning among the public, a place where there's people, but I feel like it's public reaction, right? And this is a card of a person who doesn't take risks, who's greedy, basically. Right? It would be stronger if you're upside down, but still it has that meaning, that connotation. So it's showing that this was obscured but will come to light. He will be known as a corrupt criminal because the secret's going to come to light. I believe this is, okay, I'm extrapolating the connection here. Okay, this is, like I said, this is the card that came out for Roy Moore when I did it. And this card came on top of it. When I did the reading for Roy Moore, it was like this. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is that the secret may also have something to do with the sexual. I don't know. I really don't know. But it connects to the whole Roy Moore thing in some weird way. And it also connects to financial quid pro quo. Okay, so it's just, but how he's going to be perceived other than kind of shady and criminal in several senses, it's that he's a person who only cares about money. There's all these money cards around, okay? So, and this is again public, but I feel like in the end it's people, it's sort of like how what we're doing here, we're talking, right? Because this is also a card for anything where people gather, could also be social media. So people are saying, oh my God, this guy only cared about money, okay? So that was the position 6, which was the position for what Trump does after Putin does something. And what it shows is that he's not doing anything. It's done. By the time Putin moves, he kills his presidency by revealing these secrets, okay? Okay, so the last position is, how does this affect the American public? Okay, how does this affect America? Like all these, the meeting with Putin, how Putin responds, how Trump responds, and eventually it ending with Putin revealing the secret. Okay, how does this affect America? So it's actually very positive in a weird way. Okay, so this is a card of a person who just kind of does the same, very diligent, working hard every day. Okay. Turned upside down is almost extreme regularity. It's essentially the opposite of what we're experiencing nowadays with Trump, right? And we have the sun. So what I have a feeling about this is that this is telling me that we're back to order, okay? Because it's super regular, but in a way, if we read the situation that we're living through right now, that's what we want. We want some order, okay? And an ending. So this is death in the sense of an ending of the word that came to my brain was end of an era, hopefully. But it's an ending of something, and it's an ending to this expansion, right? So these are very positive cards because this is sun and hope. So there's no hope, but the hope comes when something else ends, which we hope is the presidency in some way or another. And this is a win, fair winning, right ways of winning. When a person wins, basically the normal way of winning, and what do we have in this election, okay? And this is a woman who is very analytical. I don't know if it's Hillary, but it's a woman. It could also be a kind of return to truth. Oh my God, this is true. Because it's reason, right? The swords is about reason as well, the mind. So it's in a way, if it's upright and it's a queen, I would think it's basically reason and health. Okay, so we return to a process of fair elections and health, analytical thinking. Okay, the end of the period that we had before, new hope and growth, and sun shines again, and fair, correct elections. All right, so that's how it ends. And I feel like, in a way, this is such a roller coaster because there's so much going on, right? And I feel like I'm always saying the same thing over and over. I don't want you to think that this is exactly what's going to happen. It's just that I kind of want fast forward so we can move on, right? From something here. We can move on from this horrible stressful not knowing. So that's what I feel like what we're doing is kind of pressing a fast forward. What is going to happen next? So in a way, I feel like what this is showing me, regardless of whether Putin really does what he says, is that the energy of trying to push the world in that direction, right? Because you're saying there's all these cards, that's the tower upside down, the world upside down, trying to create a kind of an artificial form of chaos and trying to turn the world upside down towards this new direction that the plan they had isn't working anymore. Okay, it's almost like, imagine if you had to carry a weight up a very huge mountain and you created some sort of machine to do it because you can't lift it and the machine broke. But if you took it up the mountain just a little bit, when it comes down, it's going to come down with force because you're pushing very hard. And I feel like that's kind of similar what's happening here. Like, they have tried to really create this very artificial change, and there's a lot of pushback. So when they let go, there's just an enormous energy release, because then we find out that this was all fake, right? I don't want to get into the whole analysis of how fake the whole thing has been and social media and their efforts in that sense, but it's almost like they were creating this very artificial narrative, right? And at some point, the bubble burst, literally, right? You feel like they just can't carry on with that anymore. It's not making sense. And eventually, once this truth comes to light, then we return to the norms, right? To the normal way of the world. Okay? So that's the story. Okay? I hope, I don't know, I just don't want anybody to be like super scared or anything. I hope this happens in a way, right? That we find out the truth, and that even the part of the aggression, that the whole thing, the whole game with the North Korean guy is kind of a game, right? It's like, it's not real. It's trying to create some false aggression, and it's not really nothing. There's nothing natural about it. It's everything is kind of theatrical and rehearsed. So that's that, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.